Welcome to our very first casted game of the Japanese Aussie Drongo, one of your favorite casters and content creators, going to be playing them for the first time here today during the creator preview. Say hello to past FitzBro and his opponent, Mr. Merlin, making appearance here with the Byzantines, our two brand new civilizations. Of course, there are 6 new civilizations you can try, including the variances, but these are the completely new, right? The Japanese and the Byzantines. And I'm going to be showing you some new mechanics from both of them, so you've come to the right place. If you want to get to know more about these civilizations, I've got strategy guides for all of them in my Discord, in their respective channels. I've got Japanese channel, Byzantines channel. I've got one for the Zerg, the Terran. You probably don't want those, with build orders that you can check out. So join the link down below in our Discord and say hello. Let's talk about these civs. Aussie Drongo, playing as the Japanese, and a lot to unpack with the civilization. Of course, you know, it's new to me too, so I'm sure that we're going to be learning more as we go over time. You've got the farmhouse, which is a unique building, and you see increases the carry capacity of villagers by +3. He already grabbed that right at the very beginning. That was the opening he went for, and you can see you can actually get that upgrade 3 times. So it's kind of like wheelbarrow, but you can get it in different tiers, right? And you're looking at the farmhouse. It's a horse. It's a horse. It's a house. It's a farm. It's a farmhouse. So you can drop berries at it, and it's also going to provide you with some population, as well as text. So basically a house on steroids, right? And you look at the cost of that, 50 wood. It's like your standard house. So that is something in the Dark Age you're gonna notice is different for the Japanese. And Drongo going for a lot of wood chopping here makes me think he's got a little strategy. Is he going to do some kind of drush is what I wonder. And boy, it seems like that's a lot of wood to open, and there's no fishing to be had here. Over here, by the way, we've got the forge. This is going to be the mining camp for the Japanese, also 50 wood. And you can drop off stone or go to gold at this house, but it has some improvements for not only your mining, but military. Look at that. It's basically a blacksmith, right? It's a forge. But look at this, you can get increases the melee damage of all non-siege units by +1. You can get the upgrade 4 times. It does cost a little bit of stone, which is a little unique. Or if that's not your speed, you want to go the pacifist route, you can get your specialized pick. So it's a mining camp, it's a forge, it's a blacksmith. It does a little bit of everything. Okay, and there we have it. Our very first Japanese drush coming out of Drongo. This man, his creativity knows no boundaries. And look at this. Right away, we've got a samurai being trained. Look at this. Beautiful. Coming out across those cherry blossoms, running across the field in the Dark Age. Let's look at the stats on that so you know what to expect in the Dark Age. A new thing for Age of Empires 4. We've got deflective armor. Deflective armor can block 1 melee or range attack, and it recharges while out of combat for 8 seconds. So that's a completely new concept. You can just straight up shield against stuff, take no damage, right? At least once. And he's got 2 melee armor, 3 ranged armor, and there you have it. Going up against those Byzantines, got too close to the town center. I'm not sure Drongo is gonna be able to do any damage there, but you know, this kid, he's got spirit. Going for an opening there with samurai, and if you want to check out the barracks, here it is. You can see those samurai spearmen as well are available. 100 food and 30 gold. So it's kind of the man-at-arms of the Japanese, right? Heavy infantry with good damage and defense comes with deflective armor. And there you have it. Now, in the later ages, you've got the Ona Bogisha, which I probably said completely wrong. Light melee infantry with fast attack speed and long weapon range. So that's going to be kind of a unique unit to try in the mix with your, heavily armored samurai. And then you've got your katana bannerman, which is going to provide additional aura and buffs for your units. So we'll hopefully see those here later. But for now, we've got samurai encircling the base of Mr. Merlin, and we've talked about the Japanese. That's enough of the Japanese. Let's talk about these Byzantines. Mr. Merlin, you can see here, opened up with a cistern. Now, this thing costs stone, but you start with a little bit of stone. He was able to build his first one, and it is providing an aura, you can see there, which provides additional bonuses to the villagers. So right now, they get +5% gathering rate, but over time, as there's more water inside the cistern, you connect more, you can get up to 5 levels, and that 5% bonus becomes 10, 15, 20, 25% bonus. So you want to build up these cisterns over time, and Well, maybe you don't want to gather the stone to get them. That's okay. Every building you make is going to generate a small amount of stone, which is going to be kind of in relation to the building you just created. So you can build a few cisterns off of just building your standard houses, your barracks, your tower. Right? Look at that tower, by the way. A nice new skin there for the Byzantines. And of course, we talk about villager bonuses, but you've got military production rate increase. You've got the research rate increase, or the taking less damage. So there's a few different buffs that you can try out there. Now, Mr. Merlin is taking advantage of the new 5th resource. So we've got food, wood, stone, and gold. We're bored of that now. The Byzantines, they generate olive oil. You can see that. And one way to do that is with this landmark, the Grand Winery. It is going to act as a monastery, though you can't train until the castle age as far as the monks go. Nearby villagers are going to gather plus 60% olive oil from berries and olive grove, which is just your farm. They call it an olive grove. You get food and you get a little bit of olive. And when you garrison relics, it's going to generate olive oil instead of gold. So I think this works well with mercenaries as well as with fast castle builds, because you can train right out of here. Drongo continues to burn down that mining camp. And he has built a mercenary house, and you can choose the armies you want as far as the one you build in your base. So he's gone for the longbow, Landsknechte, and Streltsy combo, respective to the age, 2nd, 3rd, 4th age. You can build this next to a market to get other mercenaries unlocked, and you can choose some other combos such as javelins, camels, and grenadiers, or tower elephants, whatever it's going to be. There's a few different options you choose, but this is what he's gone for today, the longbow combo. You can see it costs 500. Well, they've got different costs, but mostly, around 500 olive oil per training there. Mr. Merlin also going to be dropping down some barracks. Let's go check in on Drongo. Of course, he's been raiding here with these samurai. Is he going to get that attack? Laying down some damage there. Villager in a little bit of trouble. Mr. Merlin has not been reacting. I think it's because there's raids coming from all 3 sides of his base. Losing villagers right now, not good for him. He's finally going to react and going to retreat. Drongo on the other side of the map. Look at the upgrade or a landmark he's gone with. So this is the Kura Storehouse. So this is an economic landmark. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Universal drop-off location that creates farms around the landmark every 45 seconds. So you see there's actually a farm with no villager on it. It just generated that. How's nice. Farm transition, who cares? This is going to take care of it for you. Every 45 seconds generates wood instead when farmland becomes full. So once it's full, it just passively generates you wood. With nothing in the game really does that for the most part right now. He's going to build a town center next to it, so it's safe in between the 2 town centers. Kind of almost like an English strategy in a way, right? So generating farms, going to be nice and safe. Going to build town centers. He doesn't even need to pay for those farms, so he's going for a very boomy route. So a cool way to go up. Of course, you could have gone with the Shinobi landmark, right? You could have had some ninjas out here, but he decided not to. Going for the economic opening behind a rush. And I mean, that always pairs well. If you do like a Dark Age rush and you can pin your opponent down, make them over-invest in military, like 2 barracks or whatever, then you boom behind it. Drongo, as you can see, just in his eco, is already ahead. He's able to pick up 2 villagers, draw some idle time. Now he's going to have additional landmarks or town centers. That's quite nice. Mr. Merlin had to invest some resources into stack defenses, these outposts. We do see a blacksmith coming down right now. And you can see this is at a level 2 now. He's connected this with the aqueduct, costs a little bit of stone. They're very cheap. I think it's like 2 stone per, let's see. Yeah, 2 stone per aqueduct. So it's very cheap to connect these. You can just draw them right through your base. The unit roster for the Byzantines. As of right now, we just have, of course, mercenaries. He could make longbows. But here we've got the barracks, so he can get the spearman with the shield, I like to call him, a Lamatanai. They can do a shield wall. They reduce all their speed stats when they use it, but they're going to be, basically like a spearman with a little bit of extra abilities. And then the Varangian Guard, which are a tough infantry, which get a really weird ability. They increased armor near allied wonders and increase the armor transports, which is very interesting in my opinion. And now Mr. Merlin, he sees it. It's the worst case scenario. His opponent's been gathering stone, has 2 town centers, has farms. Drongo has set this up. He is a big boomer. And now look at this. We have Archery Ranges. Let's take a look at those units as they come across the cherry blossoms. We got the Yumi Ashigaru. coming out for the first time. There they are. And that's going to be your archery unit. Quick and cheap ranged infantry with good damage versus unarmored units. So increased movement speed and cheaper than your typical archer. So that's kind of they're faster and a little bit cheaper. There you go, 35 food and wood. So you can really spam a lot of those Yumi Ashigaru, which of course you should be familiar with this this unit if you've played any of the Age of Empires 3. Of course they had Yumi. And we do see Yumi Bannerman as well. Let's check that out there. We got our first Bannerman. Yeah, he's trained this one right there. Ranged Samurai with an aura that increases damage of ranged infantry. Comes with deflective armor. So basically these Bannermen at each of these buildings, they're only going to buff, you know, the unit type. So this is going to buff the melee infantry. This one's going to buff the ranged infantry. And you can only have one of them. So you can see them right there. I think it... I can't remember if the Bannerman limit increases with age. Like I said, this is the first Japanese game I have casted, so I'll have to double check that one for you. Maybe you'll see it down in the comments. But for now, he's got one of each. So you can see those upgrades on those units right now. Additional 15% attack speed. So it's kind of like a Metter in a way, right? If you're used to the Ottoman Metter. Okay, Drongo continuing to just grow his economic lead. And he's got a little bit of an army to defend it as well. And at this point, he's got the larger army. He's got the larger eco. And that's probably going to mean he's going to be in a really good spot for the late stage of this game. And now, the one thing I think is quite interesting about the Japanese, and like in AoE4, you can't kill a deer with the Japanese. You build shrines, and the deer are sacred. But in this game, you can kill the deer. And the way that I understand it is there were different religions, you know, within Japan that regarded the deer as sacred or not. So as I understand it, the flavor of Japan they went for here, or I don't know if it's this time period or, you know, whatever it ends up being. I'm not a Japanese history buff necessarily, but that they were allowed to eat the deer. So it checks out. Okay. Mr. Merlin's got his longbow mercenaries. Look at those upgrades, by the way. You can do the shield wall. It looks like some of them must be in shield wall already, because there's also the ability to leave the shield wall stance. So I can't tell who's in shield wall. I would actually love to see it used right now in this battle. Yeah, I think they're in shield wall right now. I don't know how you can really tell from a distance. Is it just when they put their spears forward? That must be it. It seems like it, but I don't even see the buff on them either. Leave shield wall seems to be available. Is it on all of them? Not entirely clear, but I'll tell you what is clear. FitzBro has the best Twitch emote on all of Twitch for AoE4. I have the Hirosophone, the Sharo Siphon, whatever you want to call it. It is a ram that also shoots fire. So if you're watching on YouTube, you like it, you want to support the channel, maybe a little bit financially, head over to Twitch. There's a link down below and hit that sub button. It helps me out. And oh, did I mention I am going to be hosting a show match? Not one, but two. The Sultans Smackdown. I'm going to have Beastie Cutie versus Puppy Paw streamed live on my Twitch channel. The first Saturday, once you guys are seeing this, it's happening. And then on launch weekend, we're going to have 3DB versus Marine Lord. These are both going to be Play All 7 series. You're going to get 7 games of some of the best players at it. And boy, I don't know about you, but if you're not interested in seeing what Marine Lord's been cooking up for this brand new Civilizations, Beastie Cutie, Puppy Ball, these are the best players in the game. Our first big engagement. Let's see what's going on. Gyro Siphon's going out, but they can't do anything. There's no buildings to hit. And right now, Drongo's got this buff Japanese army. He's got all of these Yumis. We see the longbow just melting right now. And it looks like he's doing pretty good in this fight. I would have loved to see these rams in action, but unfortunately, not going to see that right now. Mr. Merlin's army just getting completely shredded by those samurai and those Ashigaru, Yumi Ashigaru. Okay, Merlin's going to retreat. We see the Gyrosophone heading back, and now we see some of those rams for the Japanese coming down. Let's see if there's anything else in the base for Drongo. He's gone for a infantry strategy here, so it's all archers, all melee infantry. He's expanded out here towards the wood. By the way, he did pick up that second, you know, I'm going to call it wheelbarrow tech, right? That's basically what it is. Does it show on the UI? Oh, I don't see it. So That's going to be interesting to note as far as our caster UI go. It's going to be really hard to keep track of this because it doesn't look like they've included some of the new Japanese text up there, but we do see the bannermen, of course, melee and ranged. Drongo in a great spot. Economically, militarily, he's got the looks. He's got 2 babies. What does this man not have? Mr. Merlin needs a little bit of strength beard to him right now. But unfortunately, that aqueduct is probably about to run low, or rather the cistern. Don't ask us how the gravity works out here on a flat map, guys. We don't know. If you were wondering what map, by the way, this is Cliffside, which it kind of has what it feels like to me, like Lipany vibes, but it's a little more standard, right? You see that? Like it's got basically even openings everywhere across the map. And honestly, I kind of feel like it's a better Lipany, in my opinion. Okay, Drongo bringing the rams in. He's got that Japanese army behind it. Here come the villagers. It's his last stand. Mr. Merlin going to be taking on the samurai. They get out. Oh, did he use it? Did he use it? I think he used the Archery defense. It basically arms your villagers. You see how they, yes, they have it. You see right now they've increased armor and damage. So he's called all arms, trying to defend. He's actually killing some of the samurai with the villagers, but unfortunately, there's been a lot of villager deaths here. They're going after the Yume. The Yume, of course, very low on HP, only 60 HP, right? And unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. It was a feudal smackdown, and today, Aussie Drongo going to be putting the whipping on Mr. Merlin. I hope you guys enjoyed this casted game, and if you want to learn about all these civilizations, make sure you subscribe to the channel for all of my guides and join the Discord down below. Get the AoE4 roll. I've got channels for all these civilizations. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you tune in for my show matches each Saturday after launch. Thanks for watching.